So how's it going, everyone? And welcome to Monster Hunter Wilds on the Steam Deck. Now, I did say in my previous video on Wilds that I would be doing a separate Steam Deck video. And yeah, today we're going to be experiencing Monster Hunter Wilds on the Steam Deck. Now, if you guys aren't aware, right, with the release of Monster Hunter Wilds, it's no surprise that the game has been getting a lot of criticism on the PC port for being questionably optimized, to say the very least. But that's not going to stop people. And even though the game is verified as unplayable by Steam themselves or Valve themselves, this game is still, if I'm not mistaken, in the top 10 of most played games on the Steam Deck. And to me, that's just incredible, because when I first tried the benchmark out, this game just could not run for the life of me, and I'm not sure why. So in this video, we're going to be testing out the full game and seeing if I can actually play it. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this plays, and I want to see how people are actually trying to play this game on the Steam Deck, because like the fact of the matter that this game is still like people one of the most played on the deck still is kind of crazy. So as you can see here, by default we are seeing that we are going at FSR 3 at ultra performance with basically the lowest settings. Wait, why is the sound quality? Let's just try to get everything as low as possible, because at the moment right here we're at 34 FPS at the main menu, and that's not a good sign, but we'll see how it goes. Let's go into a let's just go into a single player lobby for right now and see how the game looks first. All right, so we are currently in, and oh my god, wow! Even at ultra performance, you can look at the pixels. You can see the pixels as I'm moving around. Yeah, even in this little hub world with no one here, like literally, like I don't have any other players. It's just NPCs. We are at a good 20 FPS, which is pretty crazy to think about, considering how spectacular world ran. Now, this isn't with FrameGen on, and I wouldn't be surprised that the majority of people who are playing this game on the Steam Deck are all running frame generation, despite the low FPS. And yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see how that plays. So let's just go into open worlds first and see what if we're seeing any major dips in FPS. So far, everything's at a consistent 27, 20 FPS here. I may take a look and tinker the settings around and see if I can lower even more, just to see if we can get at least to the stable 30. At the very least, the pacing and the frame time seem to be relatively, I guess, stable, with a couple hiccups, but nothing to the extent of Final Fantasy 16 from what I experienced. So that's, I guess that's a silver lining, I guess. I think the worst part is that, like, at ultra performance, this game just looks awful, and it's literally just a pixelated mess from what I can tell. Now, let's turn on frame generation and see how that plays. All right, so I just turned on frame generation, and as you can see, that frame time is all over the place, but at least we're hitting above the 30 FPS mark. Like, this actually feels or looks pretty dang smooth, but oh man, the input latency at this low of a frame rate is definitely noticeable. At these lower frames, at these lower FPSs, turning on frame gen actually, in my opinion, is more of a hindrance than a benefit, because you're going to be playing this game, even though it looks smooth, it's going to feel sluggish. And as you can see here, like, look at me turning the stick around, you can see that latency there. It is pretty dang bad. Let's just go ahead and do a quick, let's fight some monsters. Let's see if we can find some monsters we can fight. Alright, so it seems like we're getting into a fight here with on the monsters here. Seems like a guardian. But yeah, as you can see here, by the frame rate, we're hitting that we are hitting that like above 30 FPS mark, which is acceptable. But man, the frame generation, while nice, since it doesn't fix that latency issue with the lower frame rates, you could see, like, as you can see there, like, I'm literally turning my camera and it's taking quite a bit of time to move, or like for the game to see that. And I have no idea what the heck my crosshair is right now. I'll say that right now. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, it's quite difficult to pull off a lot of the combos I can see just from the latency alone. Like if the frame generation actually worked in the way that it did fix the latency, so it felt more like playing at higher frame rates, then I think this would actually be a very playable experience. But as of right now, man, I am struggling really bad. And like the longsword isn't even like a weapon that really requires much thought. Like this is one of the easier to understand weapons where you can literally button mash for the most part. And I still feel very sluggish, but I am doing surprisingly okay for it. Who knows? Maybe someone will. Maybe if people get used to this latency, maybe it will be for the benefit, and you know people just learn how to adapt to it. I don't know, but yeah, no, this game, like right off the bat, just feels incredibly sluggish at its normal, like at what people at like the default settings. And you know, I'm shocked that this game is actually one of the most played games on the Steam Deck, because there's no way that this game, in my opinion, is playable at this latency. Ooh, good dodge there. I guess while the monster goes away, we might as well just go into a co-op match and see how it plays out. All right, so we're hopping into an actual, co-op game, and we are in a different place of the, we're in a different biome. What is going on the left there? Like, it was just all green, and yeah, like, what is with that HUD for the quest starting? That's weird. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into this monster. As you can see here, we are playing co-op. I do have someone else with me, and that could explain the little drop in frame rate, but man, this grass, man, super green. Kind of funny given the fact that this is literally the plains, but anyways, let's go ahead and fight. Come on, Jake! Oh, shoot. Come on, Jake. Thank you, Jake. Let me fight. Alright. Okay. Is it weird to say that when the frame rate doesn't, like, deviate significantly more with frame generation enabled, it feels better and I play better, just because the actual frame rate is closer to the latency, that the latency feel of it. But yeah, as you can see here, with multiple people, or like one person, I guess, you can see here that we are still then getting a decent frame rate, not a massive dip, which I was worried about, especially with more people, but still, like, that doesn't excuse the fact that this game has a lot of optimization to work. And to be honest, I'm not sure if Capcom will even optimize the game for this low end of the hardware. But, you know, maybe they'll pull off some miracle and make something work on the Steam Deck. Maybe this game will become a a Nintendo Switch 2 launch title, who knows. But anyways, in all honesty, this was enough for me to see that the game still, even though it did feel ironically better with more people because it lowered the frame rate a little bit, it's still like all over the place. And I just don't understand how people are playing this game and saying that they're having a playable good experience, because in my eyes, like, this is hard to play. But maybe that's just my spoiled brat like mindset, because I have a 4090 PC. So who knows? If people have the willpower to run it, then I guess they'll run it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there and just continue playing Look at that Q fall. What? I've never seen that. Okay, whatever. That's. I think the best part about this like Steam Deck is the absolutely craziness that is the UI scaling that happens on this aspect ratio. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to experience it and see how it played, and this was really all I needed to tell to myself that yeah, I think I'm okay playing on an actual PC. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Later.